What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zachary McAllister here, and today we're going to be talking about some more draft targets, but this time for the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans came into this past season with playoff aspirations and ended up failing to even make the play-in tournament. And for as much as their fans might disagree, the clock is ticking for Zion. At the very least, New Orleans needs to put a competent roster around him as soon as possible. That puts a lot of pressure on their front office to get this offseason right, and in particular, this draft pick. So let's take a look at some of the guys they should target. Moses Moody. Moody is 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, and in his solo season with the Razorbacks, he averaged 26.5 points, 9.1 rebounds, and 2.5 assists, while shooting 42.7% from the field and 35.8% from three. The first place to start with Moody is his jumper, because boy is it a thing of beauty. It's really smooth and repeatable and has a really high release point. He can hit threes from all around the arc. His hands are always in a position to receive a pass and get into his shooting motion. To top it all off, he wasn't fazed by contests and hit more than a decent amount straight over guys. His length is a big bonus in this regard. By the way, he's got some range on his threes too. He uses his jab step to really throw defenders off, and is a good pull-up shooter too. He demonstrates this a lot in transition, and it's a great way to keep defenses honest when getting back. He's an extremely effective off-ball player, and his ability as a shooter means he draws a lot of the defense's attention. He naturally flows into great shooting positions. He's also a high-level shot creator and made more than a few tough shots. He's not a great finisher at the rim, and is clearly not a fan of contact. He showed potential as a playmaker of drives and penetration, and he also has good potential as an on-ball point of attack defender. He utilized his length well to contest shots, and he's even shown really good potential as a rim protector and a good team defender too. He's not a great athlete though, and doesn't possess a good quick first step. The Pelicans need shooting, and Moody definitely brings that to the table. He also will help their defense, which wasn't good last season. Finally, he also brings some shot creation potential, which will also really help Zion and this Pelicans team. Next up, we have Corey Kissbert. Kissbert is 6'7" with a 6'7" wingspan, and in his final season at Gonzaga, he averaged 31.3 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 3.1 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 53% from the field and 44% from three. The attribute that stands out most in Kissbert's game is his shooting. He's deadly off the catch and shoot. His release is really quick and repeatable. I often talk about whether or not a guy's jumper is certified. Well, in this draft at least, they don't get more certified than Kissbert. Contest or not, this guy nails jumpers. And if you're wondering if he's got range on his threes, I can assure you, he can get hot from deep behind the arc too. He's borderline automatic when he's left wide open. Off the ball, he knows where to be and relocates to positions where he can get open shots off. He reads defense as well and runs guys into screens intelligently. He's a great backdoor cutter too, and he can shoot on the move as well, which is important as you'll need to do this a lot more at the NBA level in order to get open. There's also some potential for him to be a pick and pop guy. All of the shooting opens up a lot of driving opportunities for him. When he gets ahead of steam, going downhill, he can be dangerous. He reads defense as well and identifies when defenders step up too high. He's got a relatively broad body and he uses his physicality well. In terms of weaknesses, he offers very little in terms of shot creation for himself or others. He's not as effective from the mid-range, and he's the kind of guy who's going to get most of his shots from three or at the rim. Getting any sort of separation with the ball in his hands was a struggle, the passing wasn't reliable and he turned the ball over relatively often, and defensively, he's not awful on the ball, but he will struggle against elite athletes. Kissbert is a senior, and in terms of college ball, he has plenty of experience. His game is also a lot more polished than younger guys, and I think he could come in and contribute immediately. He also fixes an immediate need, so I suspect the Pelicans will definitely have their eyes on Corey. Franz Wagner. Wagner is 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan. In his sophomore season with Michigan, he averaged 23.2 points, 12.2 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per 100 possessions, with a 48% field goal percentage and 34% from 3. Wagner has a big body, but is extremely light on his feet. He can even switch on to guards at times. This makes him extremely valuable. He has good defensive awareness and instincts, and can combine his quick feet and active hands with great length to be a pest on the perimeter. Off the ball, he's good at recognizing and blocking passing lanes. He also closes out well and is a smart help defender, and even shown some potential as a rim protector. He's accustomed to playing in a drop coverage system. He does a good job of chasing around screens to stay with shooters too. On the ball, he can handle the ball well for his size. He shows good energy, plays hard, and does all the little things. He's also a great passer, and made some nice pocket passes and finds rollers well in the pick and roll. The jump shot looks alright, and there's a decent chance it will translate. These shots will need to be very open though, and he's more likely to take threes off the dribble than off the catch. He's very right-hand dominated at the rim, and just does not attack the rim with his left hand. The biggest concern with him for me though is his high-level shot creation ability and scoring upside. Wagner is exactly the archetype of guy that New Orleans needs. His versatility defensively and shooting upside will bring a lot to this Pels team. James Bouknight. Bouknight is 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan. In his sophomore season at UConn, he averaged 35.7 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 45% from the field and 29% from 3. Bouknight has the tools to be a really effective scorer at the NBA level. He showed he can be a pure 3-level scorer. He glides past defenders and has a deadly hesitation move, which defenders found impossible to guard. He uses his in and out dribble as well to get past defenders. There's also potential for him to be a good pull-up shooter too. He's a good creator in isolation and can definitely create his own shot. He's a natural finisher at the basket, and he does an alright job of generating contact when he gets to the rack. He also has a high free throw rate and gets to the basket regularly. He has good burst in his drives and hangs in the air for a long time when he goes up for finishes. The 3-ball at the dribble is good. The percentages were affected by him needing to take a lot of tough shots though, and I believe he has that microwave ability scoring wise. He's also a really sulky and fluid athlete. The explosiveness is there, even if it's not quite up there with the best in the class. He also showed he can be a good vertical athlete too. On the negatives though, he's not a high-level distributor. He would often stifle the UConn offense and eventually settle for tough shots to turn the ball over. He also showed a lack of control with the ball in his hands when teams pressured him. He also doesn't offer much off the ball, and defensively he lacks good instincts and can get lost at times. Bouknight's shot creation ability could be extremely valuable to the Pelicans. His shooting potential should also help the Pelicans, and his upside as a spark plug scorer could be too tantalizing for David Griffin to pass on. In his final season of college ball, Jared Butler averaged 31.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 9.1 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 47.1% from the field and 42% from 3. Butler is a great shooter off the catch, and I fancy him a bit of a long-range sniper. He shoots well off the dribble too, and just punishes teams that go under on the pick and roll. He also hits jumpers in the mid-range. He showed that he can be a great scorer in isolation, and he snakes around screens well too. The handle is also buttery smooth, and he slithers through traffic beautifully. He's also great with his off-ball movement. As a passer, he makes plays in the open floor. He finds big men on his drives consistently and flashes potential as a great pocket passer too. He also finds corner shooters consistently off the pick and roll. Defensively, he closes out well and showed he can cover a lot of ground. He also does a good job of staying in front of drivers and is a smart off-ball defender. There are some weaknesses though. He's not an offensive hub. His free throw numbers are low. He doesn't get to the basket a ton, and when he doesn't do a good job of initiating contact and struggles to finish when he's met with size. Overall, he's just not a terrific finisher at the rim. He's a little older as well, so his upside might be a little lower than other guys. Jared Butler's health could be a concern, but if he gets cleared, he's a perfect fit for this team. If they don't bring back Lonzo, there will be an open spot in the backcourt, and Butler could slot right in. His ability to score with the ball in his hands and spot up should really help the Pels. Well, that was all for this video. If you did enjoy, please put like and tap that like button. And until next time, it has been your boy, Sakura McAllister. Have a good day.